Hello and welcome to all you August people for another color reading from Karen's Colors, and this time it's for July 2026. Now, if you've been here before, then you know what to expect. I'm Dr. Karen and I give general color readings for each of you to see how your next month will develop. If you haven't been here before, well, then you probably find this a little unusual, but find yourself extremely welcome all the same. June was a bit of a mixed bag for most of us, and if you had a little bit of a problem, then I hope that by the end of the month it has sorted itself out. Certainly, July offers us another start to a different month, and as a general reading, take what resonates and please leave aside what doesn't. You might even like to come back towards the end of the month to see just how it fared for you. So let's begin then, shall we? Now, before I begin, this month we're going to be taking one of the oracles from the Treasures of Takashi. Flexibility. Be adaptable and free to move in any direction. Be open to rapid changes as you bend with the wind, for a branch only breaks when it becomes brittle and stiff. Allow yourself to be rigidly flexible at all times. Flexibility of mind equals flexibility in body. Let go of your aches and pains by creating a flexible outlook. It may be time to look at things from a perspective that you have never considered before. Let's now choose some colors for people born in the month of August to look at July. And the strength we have is brown on orange. The obstacle you will face is white on orange. And the underlying energy is blue on pink. Very well then. Brown over orange. Brown is what is happening in the real world. Orange is what is happening in the internal world. And this is what drives the activity in the real world. And here we have orange as being the main color. As the driver, it means that there is a need in July for you to stand up, to get your courage, to find whatever it is deep within yourself that enables you to get out and do or confront or overcome whatever it is in the real world. And the way in which you do this is by setting goals and then working hard to achieve those goals by doing things in a very practical way. This is overcoming the lack of confidence by learning how to do something different. And that combination itself causes you to go out and try something you haven't tried before. Maybe you've got some sort of long-term goal that you've been working on. Maybe you have got something that you've been trying over and over again fairly unsuccessfully, and you have now lost confidence in it. Well, this combination, because it is your strength, says that you are capable of getting out there and trying again. Once again, summon up your courage and get out there and do whatever it is that you've decided that is something that you want to achieve for yourself. The obstacle that you're facing, however, is white on orange. So that same lacking of confidence that occurs back here as your strength also triggers off in you a feeling of not wanting to be involved in the unknown. White on orange has to do with being afraid, but also feeling as though you can't cope with everything and anything that keeps coming your way. There are too many novel experiences that are headed your way, and those novel experiences keep pushing your buttons. And as long as they do that, you're finding yourself, although you are capable of being able to get to and accomplish the goals that you set yourself, here, every time you do so, there is something else that comes in that supersedes that and either dissipates those goals, those energies, those attributes that you have developed for yourself, and now you feel empty as a result. Underlying this is blue on pink. Now, the underlying energy assists both your strengths, but it also works on the deficits, on the obstacle as well. And here, the driving force of the underlying energy is pink. Here is a sense of being a very, very small fish in a very large pond. You feel as though you're the baby in the group. You don't really know what is expected of you. You only know that you are alive. That's what the little bit of red in the pink is all about. And because of this, there is a drive here in the real world to get yourself organized, to become competent in whatever it is that you need to do. There are duties that have to be accomplished here. And in this process of renewal that comes from this feeling of being too much of an infant in the world, in the real world, you are actually being able to create the sort of stability that's necessary simply because you basically do know what to do. It's just a matter of, do you have the energy to carry out those tasks? And I would dare say that the underlying energy here says that you are almost exhausted by the amount of work that you have forced upon yourself, because this is underlying energy. This is what you have happening in the background. And because of this, you feel as though the end of your world basically has come, and you sort of keep going round and round in circles, feeling as though you don't have the energy, but in the real world, there's a lot of things that need to be done, and you are the only one available to do it. So let's want to look at what happens when we mix these colors together. We have brown on orange. We have blue on pink. And we have white on orange. These are the colors that you are dealing with. Now, what does this do for you? Well, if we take the strength and the underlying energy and put those together, we end up here with both brown and blue activated in the real world. Those are both colors associated with work, and some of it's quite hard work. This is goals and the skills that are necessary for them. This is duty and the skills and the tasks that are necessary to carry those out. So both of these colors have to do with working hard, and this is your strength. You are able to be a workhorse that never seems to tire. In the internal world, driving this, however, is orange and pink. Things crop up that create some sort of dis-ease amongst your ideas, your aspirations, and at the same time, you're always sitting on the edge of exhaustion because you push yourself too far too often. But pink is also a color that's associated with attraction. And so other people tend to be attracted to you. They want to help you along. You need that help, and you are prepared to accept it because this is an underlying driver. And because of this, you find yourself with the confidence, the courage to actually go out and attempt to do the things that you are driving yourself towards, all of this hard work. Now, if we cross these over, these underlying energies, we end up here with brown on pink. Sometimes, instead of that feeling of vulnerability coming through as being exhausted because you've got so much to do, the vulnerability comes through as a feeling of, I've got to get through and try something different. I have to create new goals. I have to have an aspiration, something that I need to try that I haven't done before, and I need to find what is necessary in order to obtain that. On the other hand, we have here blue and orange. Now, blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel, which means that you are swinging from the situation of not enough confidence and everything seems to be overwhelmingly a crisis to, in the real world, I've got to keep a lid on things. I need to keep things organized and under control. And so here is the struggle continually between feeling as though you are out of control and trying to reassert that control. And that's all bound up between the strength and the underlying energy working together. What happens when we put that underlying energy, however, alongside the obstacle that you're facing? Well, when we have blue and white together, it creates a feeling of almost voluntary sacrifice. In the real world, there is space for you to move in any direction. You also have things that you need to do because you've already committed yourself to them. And because of this voluntary sacrifice, you tend, because this is an obstacle, to situate yourself in circumstances that cause you to be taking on too much. You are looking at things from different perspectives. You're trying to be as level-headed and as equitable as you possibly can. But in the real world, you are constantly straying between new things happening and you having to deal with trying to settle things down so that they remain calm. Now, the paler the blue, and when we put white with any color, we actually make it paler. The paler the blue, the more likely it is that you're going to feel as though things are just not moving for you. You are trying hard to maintain the status quo, but is it in fact working out for you? And that's an obstacle that you need to consider. In the underlying world, you have pink and orange. Well, that's pretty much the same as you had back here. You've still got exactly the same issues cropping up. There's still this tendency to be vulnerable and a tendency to feel alarm. And because this occurs both as part of your driver for your strength and as the driver for your obstacle, it means that you're constantly feeling as though you are out of sorts. You're not feeling as though you are confident of what it is that is expected of you or what you have driven yourself to accomplish. But you're also not feeling as though you're getting the assistance and help that you need in order to build up that confidence. So what happens when we cross these over? And once again, we have exactly the same issue here as we had with the strength, blue and orange, opposites on the color wheel. This constant alarm causing you to need to work even harder to try and keep things under control. At the same time, what we have here is white on pink. Now, pink in itself, when it's linked with white, becomes, particularly in this combination, white over pink, becomes what is known as justice. This is a struggle, because it is part of your obstacle, this is a struggle to get what you deserve. There are things that are going wrong because of other people's input. You are vulnerable to everything. And that vulnerability causes you to feel as though you're not being given a fair go. And that in turn will cause you to strive to deal with that lack of fair go by becoming alarmed and then working even harder to try and prove that, yes, you do deserve justice. Is this actually good for you? Well, that depends on what colours there are that are missing and how you're going to allow those to interact with you throughout the month of July. So let's just move these aside for a moment and look at the colours that we're missing. Well, there's no black. You don't have red. There's no yellow or green or grey or purple or cyan. Here we have 7 colours. And those 7 colors represent the skills and attributes that you're currently not using. And because you're not using them, you are missing out on what they can offer you in order to traverse this month of July more easily. Black is the opposite of white, and it says slow down, stop. Just take time out, reconsider, think about things a little more deeply. Don't just react. The white here is in your obstacle. So perhaps one of the things that you might consider is using black as a color within your month, because it allows you to negate the white obstacle and give you time to reconsider and to formulate a new plan. Red is about gathering together the amount of energy and power that you need in order to not only be your own boss, but also to activate every aspect of yourself so that you don't feel as though you are constantly out of energy. Red is very closely associated with pink. Pink is the absence of a lot of energy. Red is the gathering together of all of the energy that you might need. Yellow is about memory, and it's about learning. It's about digestion of information. How do you manage to think about the things that have happened in the past? What lessons have you learned? What are you bringing with you into the present that you might find useful in moving through this journey of July? Green is about finding new pastures. It's letting go of the past. Are there lessons, because green also contains some yellow, are there lessons that have caused you to perhaps be a little more critical than you really need to be? Maybe you need to have a change of values, a change of opinion. Maybe you just simply need some space. Grey is about being able to walk that middle road. Are you able to traverse between the black and the white? The white is the obstacle, the black is a potential for you to use to take time to move away from your obstacle. Grey enables you to find that space and to walk the path between those two extremes so that you are not over-engaging in either of them. Purple is about change, but it's not the sort of change that causes alarm as we have here as your underlying driver. But purple allows the sort of changes that come as a result of you making choices. You decide what you want, and you will leave behind what you no longer need, what no longer serves your purpose, and move forward. Cyan is about being able to simply find your bliss, find that space in your life that enables you to just simply calm down, relax, to understand what is going on around you and not to let it perturb you in any way. So from these 7 colors, which are the 2 that are going to be of benefit to you? That has to be the one that's most appealing and the one that is least appealing. And that will encompass all of the others that will enable you to do something that enables you to move in a different direction to the drama that seems to be unfolding for you in July. Well, if nothing else, July certainly seems to be becoming a very interesting month indeed. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed this reading and that you take away from it or from the Treasure of Takashi something that will benefit you throughout the month of July. Until we meet again, may the colours of your life bring you all of the joy and happiness that you require for your own higher good. Catch you next time. Bye.